wrap up later.
Everybody settled? Connor, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Juwan, what did you maybe learn from your team down the stretch and in overtime, being able to close this out?
Well, I knew it from the beginning, and it's no surprise to me, but I knew about their mental stability, just the fact of dealing with a tough team like Purdue, who plays hard, very physical team on the defensive end. They're going to keep coming at you on the offensive end. Obviously, you know, with Williams and his inside presence, as well as Sasha with his outside shooting, they're really quick because they have a great coach over there. But I knew our team was going to stay with it. They understand that their game is about runs. That's what this game is all about. At times, you know, they're going to make a run, but you got to be able to respond with a run yourself. Our guys just stay with it. As you know, in the first half, we had 8 turnovers, so we pretty much just sometimes just giving them the ball back. And I thought they were being very disciplined, like with some decision making that on some of our reads. But our guys were able to figure it out in the second half, first overtime, second overtime. We took care of the basketball. We had 1 turnover, so that was huge for us. So I respect the adjustments that our guys made, and then more importantly, they did a really good job of just being patient with the basketball. The ball was in the right hands with the right people, and they just made a really good decision with it. I know that's a long answer, but hopefully you get where I'm coming from.
Derek?
Xavier was fantastic in the overtime periods. He scored 22 points overall, dished out 9 assists. What impressed you the most about his play tonight?
I'm not surprised. I have one of the best point guards in college basketball. We have one of the best leaders in college basketball. One of the toughest competitors in college basketball. A kid that has been counted out so many times, but he always figured it out, rise to the occasion when needed, trust himself. We trust him. His teammates follow his lead with his energy. He's always active with his effort. I'm not surprised by his performance. I love the fact that he took that 3-point shot when he's open, because I never want him to pass up shots. It's that simple.
Steve?
Juwan, Xavier, he just, in overtime, with the mental toughness and the things that you really preach, that he seems to exemplify. Talk about how important it is for him to have that mental toughness and that mental stability, and for the rest of your team to feed off of it.
Well, he knows he cannot be the quietest guy on the court. He also knows that each and every possession, he has a coach that's going to be counting on him to provide leadership. He embraces that. It's not like he's running away from that challenge. Yes, it's big shoulders that he has to carry with all the accountability that I've given him, all the trust that I've given him. But he's earned all of it. And we're just happy that we have our Tom Brady playing for us.
And when he was asked about certain shots that he took, he would say, well, I saw a help defender's head turn, or I saw the game movement at such a fast pace, and he's noticing these very little subtle things that open the highway for him. Talk about that ability and maybe how unusual it is.
Well, it always boiled down to his experience. You know, he's a gamer. This is his 4th year as a senior. He's played for a coach that had phenomenal sets. A lot of it was a lot of read and react, and it's somewhat similar as far as what we run offensively too. But instead, yes, we use a lot of ball screens, and he's practiced. He knows where the reads are. There are times, you know, like they all do, they make mistakes. They try to make the right play. Sometimes it's a home run play, but he makes singles too. And we're going to continue to keep practicing it. He watched film. He knows it. But the thing that I'm impressed with the most is that he's always ready to work. He's always ready to practice, don't miss any practices. And that right there, you can cheer. You're just going to cheer for a guy like that because of the fact he's wired the right way. Big credit to his dad and his mom for instilling those type of values of being the guy who's going to bring his work ethic each and every day in practice and in games.
Ryan?
The lineup with Franz and the three guards, what did you see on the court that led you to want to try that out?
Well, with me, I look at the game and I read the game of how the situation is being thrown at us. And I mix and match with different type of lineups. It's not the first time we use Franz at the 4 spot. We also practiced it. So Franz was prepared to play that position. I noticed that they didn't have both bigs in, so I needed another ball handler as well as a shooter. I knew at times, on the defensive boards, we may it be on the glass, but Franz was an ex-scrapper. They all were. X, David, Eli, John.
Did you see that point as a turning point in the game when you put those guys in with 9 minutes left in the second half?
I helped a lot, for sure. But it was all hands on deck. Every guy on our team that played contributed. And then also the guys that did not play contributed with the fact that they were being leaders in timeouts, on the bench cheering, giving positive energy throughout the game. So it was a total team effort. The guys that really mattered the most, that really helped us and willed us to victory, was guys that did not show up on the box score. Isaiah Livers, he was super active out there being a leader, and in huddles.
Brendan?
When you came in and you didn't only kind of inherit a team, you inherited, a very distinct leader in Xavier. I kind of wonder, early on, your two personalities, how did that marriage kind of play out? And, you trusting him, him trusting you, how'd that work out?
Yeah, that's a great question. I never forget when I called Xavier's mom, and we had a nice conversation. She was excited about me getting a job, having a chance to coach her son and teach him about growing as a player, but also growing as a man. And I welcomed that challenge and I embraced that. Then she said one other thing that was very important. She was like, the two of your birthday is close to one another. And my grandmother was always big on astrology. So we both are Aquarius. And we both can be bullheaded. I will also add stubborn. I know I'm stubborn. My wife will tell you that. And we also both are tough-nosed competitors. But the beauty of it is that we both trust one another. And I've earned his trust. I've watched him. I've been a big fan of his game. And so coming in, like you said, I inherited a special player that I know is going to fight every night, going to compete from start to finish, and is going to lead like no other.
Ryan?
How much concern is there, if any, with what some of the bigs in the Big Ten have been able to do against you guys this season?
Yeah, when you look at the stats, and truly it's going to point at that, okay, John, the guy that he guarded, had a great game. And it's true, the kid had a really good game. Yes, Garza played for Iowa. He had a big, strong game, too. Coffee from Illinois had a big, strong game. That's because of the coach, being stubborn, not bringing a double team. Yes, you saw when John got the ball in the post, they brought 2 men to John. And I know John's like, okay, well, can I get some help too? But I know that John is a competitor. Yes, he did not want to allow or give up any buckets. And he did not give him buckets. I know Williams will tell you, and I don't know if he told you guys yet, but he had to earn each and every one of those baskets. But there was like 2 heavyweights going at it. And that's what the Big Ten is about. It's about competitors, very talented guys. It's very skillful bigs, but I really entrusted and embraced our game plan.
Chris?
You guys were 7 of 29 from 3, but a lot of the looks that you got, especially in the second half, were wide open looks. Were you pretty happy with the way you guys ran the offense and the shots that you got?
I'm happy with the fact that the ball was moving. We made some really good extra passes. The ball was moving from side to side. Unfortunately, we missed some shots that we normally make, but I want those guys taking those same shots again when you open, let it fly. That's my motto.
Ashley?
Going back to the smaller lineup with Franz at the 4, what does that group give you in terms of what's maybe a little bit different in spacing and opening things up on offense?
Well, that group is a very dynamic group that gives 5 skilled guys. Franz is a very skillful guy that can put the ball on the floor and shoot with good length. He also defends very well, which he's not getting enough credit for. Eli can shoot the ball, can create off the ball screen. Eggs, David, and we all know they're really good off ball screens too. So it's a hybrid lineup. I'm not saying I'm always going to go to it every time, but you just got to read the time and situations.
Andrew?
Juwan, when you guys really needed stops tonight, end of regulation, end of overtime, you got them. I guess what was the key to it?
Well, that's one thing that I never forget when you talked about it on today's Thursday. Yesterday, right? You mentioned about our defense.
It wasn't me, but it was me.
It wasn't you, I'm sorry. He said, there he is, right there.
It's fine.
I never forget that question. And not only that, he pointed out an important stat about field goal percentage. And it's true. We got to own it. Last 3 losses, teams have shot the ball very well against us. Tonight, our defense stepped up. That was the Michigan defense that I know how we can play, and we've shown with some games throughout the year, but we got to be active like that defensively. We got to be disruptive. We also have to be one of the most physical teams without fouling. But tonight, I think we did a really good job defensively. We held a really good team to 40% from the field, and that is not going to go unnoticed with me.
Got time for a few more. Josh?
Double overtime game. A lot of guys played a lot of minutes with a quick turnaround. Is there any concern for fatigue heading into Sunday's game against Minnesota?
Yes, it's concerned. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not concerned at all. I will try to do my best with managing the load management. Load management. Yes, I gotta be smart about it. I can't just grind them. Tomorrow I have to be smart with our practice prep. But yeah, tomorrow morning when I walk in the door, be locked in on Minnesota for sure. And tomorrow we have Saturday, another game, day to prep, and then we also have Sunday morning. So we'll be smart about it.
We'll go Daniel and then Brendan.
You talked a lot about going off the load management. You referenced LeBron James back in October in Chicago about how well he took care of his body. Is there any kind of specific pointers that you give to these guys, given that when they're coming out of high school?
Well, Alex Wong and John Sanderson, they're the best at it. So, they got it handled. Now it's important for me and my staff to come up with a good game plan for tomorrow's practice, where we don't wear our guys out, because 2 overtimes, late night. Hopefully they get some good food in their system, healthy food in their system. I remember those times when I was in college, it was the pizza and the wings. That's part of the recovery. You got to eat right, you got to get off your feet, get some sleep. Yes, they have class tomorrow. It's tough. It's tough for a student athlete balancing both jobs, academics and basketball. But we'll be smart about it. I can't give the secrets away.
And with Xavier, he didn't shoot the ball for the first 18 minutes. Was there kind of an emphasis on him facilitating going into this game, or do you think that was more of a matter of game flow?
It was mainly a lot of reads. It wasn't me telling him he had to be more aggressive offensively, anything like that. I trust he's going to make the right decision.
You cited your stubbornness as a reason not to send a double or send help on for John. Is that because you didn't like if someone sent help for you if you were guarding somebody, or where does that stubbornness form from?
Oh no, it's not where I didn't like someone send help for me. The stubbornness comes from like I'm just a bullheaded, stubborn guy. This game plan, they have shooting. You know, they have Eric Hunter can make outside shots from 3. Sasha, he's an excellent shooter, shooting like 48% from 3. Willard is one of their stickers. He can knock down outside shots. Jahad Proctor, Isaiah Thompson, you know, he hurt us with some tough shots. So I wanted to make sure that we did not give those guys open looks, and trust that John would do his job and, you know, making every catch tough for him. Making also every time he shoots the ball, contesting handball contests and doing it without foul. But Williams made some tough shots, man. They were well guarded, some of them, and he just willed it. And with his skill, give him credit. You know? But at the end of the day, the 36 points, that was on me. That wasn't on John Teskey. Okay, so let's just make that be clear. He scored that on me.
Last one in the corner.
Coach, I hope this doesn't come across as inappropriate, but Coach John Beilein, who used to coach here, found himself in some hot water recently. I just wanted to see, you know, your reaction to that. And as an NBA guy that's played there for a long time, how does one go about, I guess, regaining the trust, a coach regaining the trust of his players after something like that?
Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't there, so I can't really comment on what was said. I read, you know, just like a lot of us in this room read, you know, what they reported Coach saying. At the end of the day, that's all I know. I understand Coach made an apology, so that says a lot about his character. Now, the relationship between Coach, his players, and Cleveland, it's none of my business.
Coach, that's it.